Up until now, all of the transactions that we've been making have been local to our own network. But what if we want to make real transactions on the main Ethereum network? Well, in order to do that, you need to be running a real Ethereum node, and that's a bit tricky to do for a variety of reasons. First off, it's time consuming to set up. You need to configure the node and sync the entire blockchain, and the developer experience around doing that is still kind of rough. It also exposes you to a bunch of security risks, such as having your private keys hacked by the bad actors who are constantly crawling the network and looking for insecure nodes. It's still very much the wild, wild west out there. But what if you still want to use Ethereum and build apps, but you just don't want the hassle of running your own node? Fortunately, there are a variety of helpful tools and services that have emerged over the past couple of years to help us interact with the mainnet. So right here, I have a brand spanking new wallet address, 0x99f1. And I'm going to send real Ether to it in a bunch of different ways and show you how they all work. This should be fun. So first up is MyEtherWallet.com. MyEtherWallet is an open source project run by some awesome people in Los Angeles that gives you a browser-based user interface for interacting with the Ethereum blockchain. So let's use this site to send some Ether to this newly created account. I'm going to go to Send Ether, and you need to import your wallet either through a key store file, the private key directly, or a mnemonic phrase. I actually have a private key for a temporary Ethereum account that I have that has exactly 1 Ether in it. So I'm going to use this now to send that Ether to this address right here. So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste the to address. And I can't send exactly 1 Ether because remember I have to pay the gas cost. So I can just click this handy utility to send the entire balance, which will be something like this. I will generate the transaction, and this is the transaction data that we saw in the last episode. And then this is the signed transaction. And all I need to do is click Send Transaction. It'll ask me to confirm. I say, yes, I am sure. And that will actually make the transaction to the account. So we get a TX hash back. So let's go to this, and let's make a new tab here, and let's go to etherscan.io. And type, and we can put in the TX hash to view it. And we'll see that this TX hash has already gotten 2 block confirmations 21 seconds ago, which means it should show up in this address. And it looks like we got our 0.999 Ether, and this is on the Ethereum main network, and that was just done through myetherwallet.com. Okay, next up is MetaMask. MetaMask is an open source project that makes a Google Chrome extension for interacting with the Ethereum network. So it gives you an Ethereum wallet that hooks right into your browser that you can access by clicking the little Chrome extension right here. And it also runs its own Ethereum node on the back end. So you can send transactions to the network without needing to DevOps your own node, which is really cool. So I can see that I am opening my account. I have an Ether already in this account. I'm on the Ethereum main network right now, but I could see that I could go onto the test network or my local network also. And I have 1 Ether, and I want to send it to that account that we set up before. So I'm going to paste in the address of the account I want to send an Ether to, and I'm going to send 0.98 Ether, because that should be enough to cover the gas cost. And you'll see it'll ask me to confirm the transaction. It'll say you want to send this account to this account, this much. This will be the minimum transaction fee, so the max total this, I accept it. And that will actually send a transaction to the main Ethereum network. So we should be able to go back now to our Etherscan account, and we should be able to see this pop up in a couple seconds. And we see that, there we go, that we now have a pending transaction that is sending from my MetaMask account to this address, 0.98 Ether, and this will be confirmed in a couple seconds. And there we go. 56 seconds, this has been confirmed. We've got now almost 2 Ether in this account. Let's keep it going. Now, I happen to have around $10 worth of Bitcoin. It would be really cool if I could just convert that into Ether and send it to this address. Well, enter Shapeshift.io. Shapeshift is one of the coolest services in the crypto space right now, and it lets you quickly transact between digital currencies. So in this case, I want to be able to deposit Bitcoin and receive Ether from it. So I just set this up and I hit continue, and it's going to ask me for the Ethereum address that I want to send it to. And this is the address that we're using. And then it's going to ask for a Bitcoin refund address, aka the address that we're going to be sending the Bitcoin from that it can reimburse if something goes wrong. So I have a Bitcoin on my Coinbase.com account, and I can get the wallet address that I'm going to send it from right here. So I will put that in. I will agree to the terms of services, and I will start a transaction. And what Shapeshift is going to do is it's going to actually create its own wallet address. And it's going to ask me to send Bitcoin to that address. And then once it receives it, it will then send Ether to the Ethereum address that I put in. So it's going to ask me to deposit Bitcoin now in this address. And I will go to Coinbase and I will say that I want to send to this Bitcoin address exactly how much that I have. So 0.01596586 BTC. And I'm going to send funds. And it's going to ask me, I will confirm it. And it says that I have successfully sent this $11 to the Bitcoin address that Shapeshift provided. So now I'm going to go back to Shapeshift, and it's going to acknowledge that it received the deposit, and it's going to await its own internal processing to do the exchange. And now you can see that the exchange is completed. The Ether has been sent. That did take a minute because Bitcoin's asinine long-ass block times that take forever to sync. But now if we go back to Etherscan and we go ahead and refresh it, we can see that now we have 2.9 or 3 Ether, and our last transaction was here, and this is the one that was sent from Shapeshift. And it's less than the raw transaction that we sent from MyEtherWallet because Shapeshift takes a slight fee off the top. For convenience, you might want to be able to send Ethereum transactions from your smartphone as well. And there's a great app that's really popular called Jaxx that lets you do that. Jaxx has both an iOS and an Android app, and it also works across both Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is really convenient. So I'm going to move away my web UI and bring up our mobile app and demo this real quick. Okay, so now we are in Jaxx, and I can see that I have an Ether in my account. And all I need to do is go to send, and it'll ask for a receiving address, and you can either scan a QR code or just paste it in. And I'll send the max amount, which is that minus the gas cost, and I'll hit send. It'll ask me to confirm the transaction. I will confirm, and it says that it's successfully sent, just like that. And now if we go back to our wallet and we refresh, you can see that our transaction did go through. We have around 4 Ether in our account now.